My name is Patty Simpson, and let me take this off for the video. And I come from a long line of educators. So my mom and dad both taught here at Temple College. My dad taught anatomy, physiology, and the sciences, and my mom taught math here at Temple College. There are 4 family members, me included, teaching math here at Temple College. My older brother, Randy Simpson, teaches typically over at the TBI campus. Those are those annoying kids that are gonna graduate high school with their associate's degree. You know those guys? Really annoying guys. He teaches them. And then my younger brother, John Simpson, he's here sometimes on main campus in that room, but then he also teaches over at the TBI as well. And then my brother-in-law, Mr. Leach, teaches here. He's typically in this middle room. In fact, he's in there right now teaching college algebra. So there are 4 of us. Now, you signed up for the best Simpson, especially if math is something that you struggle with. Because before I started teaching at the college, I taught kindergarten for 15 years. And then I guess I learned to share or something, because then I moved up to 1st, and then 2nd, and then 4th and 5th, and middle school, and then high school, and then here I am at the college level. So I can take any math and break it down all the way to kindergarten if I need to, and then build it back up. So hopefully that'll be helpful this semester. So that's a little bit about me. Let me tell you a little bit about this course. I know that on your schedule it's super weird. It's like the timing, like one class 20 minutes and the other one's, I don't know, it's weird. All you need to know is it's really just one class. You're gonna get 2 grades at the end, but it's really just one class. We're gonna meet every day from 9:30 to 10:15, okay? So that's all you need to know, Monday through Thursday, just one class. And then at the end of the semester, you'll end up with 2 grades. And the reason you're in 2 classes is one of 2 reasons. Either you signed up for the class because you said, I've been out of school for a long time and my math skills are awful. And so I want to go back and have a little reinforcement to help me out. Or you signed up for this class because you didn't pass the TSI test. And that TSI test tells us that your administrators would say you're not college ready. So our job this semester is to get you college ready and then get you through a credit level stats class by the end of the semester. That's the goal of the thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, that's tough. It's a hard road to get through this in one semester. So not too many semesters ago, if you didn't pass the TSI and you were deemed not college ready, it would take you 4 semesters to get that stats credit. That's a lot. You would start in pre-algebra and you'd have to pass that class. And then you'd take intro to algebra and have to pass that class. And then intermediate and pass that class before you finally got into a statistics class to take that statistics class and pass it. So it would take you 4 semesters. We're gonna do all of that in one semester. So it is gonna be a tough road. You're gonna have to work hard. And some of you, it may take you a little bit longer. Just know that if it takes more than 1 semester, it's okay. It used to take 4. So you get as much as you possibly can out of this semester, and then if you have to come back another semester, it's okay to have to come back. But we're gonna do everything we can this semester to help you get there, okay? Okay, so hopefully you got an email from me that said, don't buy anything. And you didn't buy anything? You didn't buy a book, you didn't waste that $100 on a book and a code. You didn't buy a calculator, didn't buy anything. Okay, good. Everything you need is going to be located on D2L, on the computer. So let me show you that, and we'll kind of let you know how the class works a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that maybe people who are watching can see. Oh, maybe I just have to do this. That's zooming in. And we're going to do that. Okay, so everything you need is going to be right here on D2L. So for those of you who this is your first semester here at Temple College, D2L is where you're going to find your classes. So you choose D2L from the drop-down menu here. And then once you click on it, then there are going to be these little boxes up at the top. And if you click on those little boxes, it's going to pull up all your classes that you're taking this semester. You're going to need, for this class, it's the statistics class. I have a ton of classes that I'm teaching, but you'll have your classes that you're taking. So you just click on it, and when you click on it, it'll bring you to the course home. And on this course home, I just have a welcome. It tells you a little bit about the semester. Our Discord server, how to join it, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then a tentative schedule that we can click on this, and it's going to take you to the homework assignments that we'll be working on that day. So like this will take you to the syllabus. If I click on that, this will take me to my order of operations homework. So maybe you get to the homework through this, but let me show you a place where you have a little more information. So that's on the course home. But I'm going to go to content. So just that second tab where it says content. And under content, it has some of that information as well, the syllabus, office hours, Discord, policies, all that fun stuff that we have to put on there. But then, here's the important stuff. This is week 1. Here are the lecture notes I'm going to talk about here in a minute, the syllabus. This is everything I'm saying right now. Then, tonight we're going to do order of operations. And under the order of operations, as every one of them will have a little comic. It'll have a lecture video that you can watch, lecture notes, examples, and a homework. So, you know, if you bought a textbook, that's what they would have, right? They'd have lecture notes for you to read over, different examples in the book for you to read, and then it would have your homework assignment. So basically, I have a book that I've written myself that's online. And so everything you need is going to be under that content tab. And the important thing is going to be that homework assignment. But if something happens and you need to go back and watch the lecture video, or you need to read over the lecture notes, or you need some examples to look at, all of those things are here underneath that content tab. And then what else is located here? So you can see the whole week. We're going to do order of operations today. Tomorrow we'll do operations with fractions, so we'll learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. And then on Thursday we're going to turn fractions into decimals into percentages. So those are the things that we'll be doing this week. So you can always see that on here. Then, once you've completed an assignment, and we'll talk more about this here in a little bit, we're going to turn them into Dropbox. So that's what this little tab is up top. I'm going to go to Dropbox, and our first assignment that we're going to have to turn in is the order of operations homework. And so what you'll do is you'll click on that assignment, and then there's a place where you can add a file. So you're just going to click on that, and you'll upload your file into that Dropbox. Okay, so I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. The other tabs that are up there, you can see who all's in your class on class list. The grades, you can look at your grades and see what your grades are. So everything you're going to need is going to be located right here underneath that content tab in D2L. And today we're going to be doing order of operations. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this course and how it's set up. Let's look at the syllabus. Pull that up. Oops. there for a minute. We'll come back. There it is. Okay, we're going to talk about Discord here later. This first part just says you're in 2 classes, but we're just meeting every day from 9:30 to 10:45. Here's the grading. So I know in a lot of your classes, as you go to classes today and they talk about the syllabus, it's going to say things like homework is 20% and your tests are 40%. I'm not dealing with percentages. Instead, we're just going to talk about points. And we're just going to, in this class, earn points. So the homework is worth 200 points. We're going to have something called application exercises where we apply what we learned to real world situations. That's going to be 210 points. There's tests that are 440 points, and then a final exam, 150 points. Okay, so you're going to earn points along the way. There will also be bonus points that I throw at you on occasion. Your job is just to gain as many points as you can. And students always ask me, well, when I get a bonus point, where does that bonus point go? Does it go on a test? Does it go on a homework assignment? All the points are the same. I know in those other classes where you have percentages, it matters because 40% is bigger than 10%. But in this class, a point on a homework is the same as a point on a test, is the same as a point on an application exercise. Your job is just to fill up your bucket with as many points as you possibly can. And when you get to 600 points, then you have made a D in the credit level class. When you get to 700 points, you get a C in that credit level class. 800 points is a B, and 900 points is an A. So D is passing for your credit level statistics. So 600 points and you've passed the class. Because this is 2 classes, you'll end up with 2 grades. You end up with a grade for the statistics, but then you also end up with a grade for the developmental portion. And that grade for the developmental portion is just 1 grade higher than whatever you got from the other portion. So if you make a C in stats, you make it, if you make a C in stats, you make a B in the developmental portion of it, okay? But it's just 1 class. At the end, we just do the grade that way. All right, so let's talk about the homework, because that's one of the ways that we're going to get points. And really, the homework is probably the most important thing that you'll be doing. So let me explain my philosophy a little bit about math. Math is just a sport. That's all it is. So, I can watch Simone Biles do gymnastics. I'm never going to get good at it. It's not going to happen. And she makes it look easy, man. She makes that balance beam look like it's the floor. I'm not even that coordinated on the floor. She makes it look easy. I can watch her all day. I'm not going to get any better at it. Same thing's true with math. You can watch me and you're not going to get any better at it. And I'm going to make it look easy. You're going to have to practice it in order to get good at it. So growing up, my dad was a great golfer. He was state champion in high school. He was a really good golfer. And every time he hit the ball, it went straight down the fairway. He made that sport look so easy. So he took me out to teach me how to play golf. He says, look, Patty, you're going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You're going to hold the club just like this. You're going to take it back. You're going to turn with your body. And you're going to follow through. Nothing to it. So it's my turn to hit the ball. I'm like, all right, I got this. I did everything he told me to do. By the way, that's going to be me coaching you. I'm going to show you exactly how to work the problem step by step. So I do everything he tells me to. Feet shoulder width apart. Come on in, have a seat. Hold that club just like he taught me. And the ball. Wait, actually, the ball didn't move. The ball was still right there. There it was. It didn't go anywhere. That might be y'all tonight. So that first time, that's what happened. I missed it completely. And Dad said, you've got to watch your club hit the ball. Okay, that's going to be me. I'm going to help you through it. You're gonna say, hey, my answer's not the same as yours. There's something going on. I don't understand how to start. I need help. And then I'm gonna help you out. So Dad says, watch the ball, leave your head, make sure you're watching the club hit the ball. So my second time, boom, and the ball goes ding, 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 ding. There it goes. Okay, I got a little better. It took me hitting ball after ball after ball before I finally got good at golf. Same thing is true with math. The way you get better at math is you just have to practice. I'm not smart. I've just done a lot of math. So that's how you get good at it, okay? I'll tell you another story along that lines. When I was y'all's age, nice and young, I made great choices, let me tell you. I married a guy that was a high school dropout and was a drug addict. My parents were so proud. So got him cleaned up, helped him get his GED, and then we enrolled him right here at Temple College. Remember, back then, in order to get through the developmental sequence, you had to take 3 math classes. So he signed up for that pre-algebra class under my mom, who was teaching here, and he failed. So he takes the class a second time. He failed it a second time. So he takes it a third time, and he passed with flying colors. He said, you know what, if I had just done my homework that first time, 3 times each, I could have saved myself time and money. So when he took the class, the next class, intro, he did that. He did all of his homework 3 times each. He passed, flying colors. Went on to take intermediate, did great, passed that class, took college algebra, passed it. He's now a flight nurse up in the Metroplex. Woot, successful guy. So he will tell you the moral to that story is all you have to do is do your homework 3 times each if you want to be successful at math. So it really does just take practice. So think of it as a sport. You've got to practice it. And the more you put into it, the better off it is for you. So, you know, if you're the type that when the coach says do 10 push-ups, and you're like, the minute he turns his back, you just lay down and you don't actually do them, well, you're not gonna get any stronger that way. You gotta actually do the push-ups if you wanna get stronger. It's the same thing here. Okay, so I showed you that the homework is on D2L, and let me just show you what that homework is gonna look like. Again, it's under the content tab in D2L. So right here at the bottom, there's the homework. And this is tonight's homework, order of operations. And so tonight there are 10 things to do. And then I'm gonna keep scrolling down. And on the next page, there are answers. That's going to be true for every one of your homework assignments. You're going to have the problems to work, and then I'm going to give you the answers. So, you know, when you do gymnastics, if you do a cartwheel and land on your head, you know you didn't do it well. And if I hit a golf ball and I miss it, I know I didn't do well. Well, in math, you kind of need the answer to know if you did it right or not. So I'm going to give you those answers. Your job is going to be to show me how you got to the answer. Show me the work along the way to let me know that you know how to do it, okay? And then also to let yourself know that you know how to do it. Because what this is practice for those, for the game, for the tests. So you've got to get good at this so that then you can do well on the tests. And the tests are going to be worth more points. Each one of your homework assignments is only 5 points. But the tests are going to be like 120 points, I think, each, or 110. They're 110 points each. So each one of those tests is worth 22 homework assignments. So the homework assignments are the practice to get you where you are ready for that test. And sometimes I take the homework problems and put them on the test. So it's really important that you understand the homework. Okay. Once you've completed the homework, what you're gonna do is just on a sheet of paper, you're gonna work out the homework. And I'll show you, when we do order of operations here in a little bit, I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna be expecting from you. So you're gonna write it out on a piece of paper. Then you're gonna have to take a picture of that piece of paper, or maybe you have a computer with a scanner. Somehow or another, you're going to have to get that document, that picture, your homework, turn it into a PDF to turn into Dropbox. So there are lots of different ways you can do that. You can scan it on a printer as a PDF and then upload it that way. Or if you have an Apple phone, in your Notes app, when you get ready to take a picture of it in the Notes app, it'll ask you if you want to scan it. You can scan a document that way and save it as a PDF. Another way I do it is I take photos of it and I insert those photos into a Word document, and then I can save that Word document as a PDF. Or if you have an Android phone, there are other apps out there like Tiny Scanner where you can scan it as a PDF. Yes. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. So I need it as a PDF because otherwise I can't, when I go to open it, it'll say that I'm unable to access it. So I need that document as a PDF. And then also, it needs to be one file. So your homework may be 10 pages long. I need that as one document. So you insert it all as one document, because what I see is the last thing you've uploaded. So if you upload 10 different documents, I only see the last one. So that means 9 pages I didn't get to see. On that same note, if something happens and you upload the wrong document and you're like, oh my gosh, I uploaded the wrong thing, or there was a mistake in it, I've got to go fix that. Just upload it again, because I see the last thing that you put in there. Okay, so just correct it by uploading the correct thing. So those are 2 things. This week is really going to be, that's part of what we're learning, is how to upload it as a PDF as one document so that we can turn in that homework. And that's how we'll turn in our assignments this semester, is as that PDF. Okay, so if you are working it and your answer doesn't match mine, or you're having trouble, then you're gonna need to get help. You need your coach at that point. And your coach may be me, it may be another classmate, it may be a tutor at the math lab. You've got to find somewhere to get help. And we'll talk in a little bit about Discord and how you can use Discord to get some help, okay? All right, so that's the homework, and this is the practice. The practice for, if you're gonna get better, you've got to work on this homework. All right, from there, let's talk about the test. There will be 4 tests, and each one of those will be, like I said, 110 points each. And so that's 22 of those homework assignments. Oh, let me go back to homework for just a minute and explain how I'm going to grade it. Now, there will be a few exceptions to this as we go through the homework, and on those days I'll let you know that it's an exception to it. But most of the time, the way that I'm going to grade the homework, I'll kind of look over it to make sure you're doing well on it, but I'm just going to grade one problem from each homework. And the way I'm going to grade that is I'm going to roll a dice. So if I roll a 5, then I grade everybody's number 5. And if you didn't do number 5, if that was the one you had trouble with, then you don't get credit for that one. So you want to make sure that you're doing every single one of them. Not only that, but you know that that's the one that's going to show up on the test, or something similar to that. It's going to be the one. So make sure that you understand every single problem on the homework, okay? That homework really is the key to success. And when I say that you're going to complete the homework, you want to make sure that you really understand that homework. So if you're having to look back at your lecture notes or look at the examples in order to work the homework, you're not really understanding it. So when we talk about doing it 3 times each, that first time, maybe you're having to look at the lecture notes and the examples. So then after you've done it once, asking me for help and understanding it, then go back and do it a second time. And that second time, hopefully you don't have to look at those examples or the lecture notes or ask me as many times. You know, you've gotten it. But if you're having to do that, then you're like, okay, I need to do it a third time to make sure that I really do understand it. You want to be able to work those problems without having to look at examples. Then you know that you're good to go. And then that'll lead to the tests. And the tests will be similar to the homework. Sometimes they literally are the same problems. So make sure that you understand the homework, and then you'll do well on the tests. Okay, what else? All right, more with that. All the assignments are going to be due on Fridays at 11:59 p.m., so midnight basically on Fridays. And so today I'm going to teach a lesson, order of operations. Tomorrow I'm going to teach fractions, and then Thursday I'll teach whatever it is. And each day you'll go home and do the homework. So, you know, what I would advise you to do is go home this afternoon, do the order of operations, figure out how to turn it into a PDF, and go ahead and upload it. And then tomorrow, do the same thing, and then Thursday, do the same thing, and then you're done. The weekend, you're like free. You don't have math to worry about. Maybe you have to work though this afternoon. Okay, well, you know, find a time between now and Friday to get that homework done. It's gonna be due on Friday. There is a 24-hour grace period. So let's say your internet goes out, or your electricity dies, or you know, you have a death in the family and on Friday you're having to travel somewhere or something. You can turn it in on Saturday, but that's that 24-hour grace period. And then on Sunday I'm gonna grade. And the way I'm gonna grade it is I'm gonna roll that dice, and whichever one I get, then that's what I'm gonna grade. And what I'm looking for is your work. Did you work it through? Did you show me that work? And on that note, I told you not to buy a book. I also told you not to buy a calculator. We are not going to use calculators in this class. Part of the developmental part of this class is learning a little bit about number sense, being able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's part of being college ready. So we're gonna learn how to do that this semester. And I'm gonna help you with that. I'm gonna help you gain some number sense and some understanding of math. I wrote all the problems. I wrote this book. So I know that you're not using a calculator. And so the idea is for you to be able to do them without it. And by the end of the semester, you'll be getting really good about estimating and being able to do the math without that calculator. So it may be a little bit more struggle in the beginning, but as you go through, you'll get better at it. So no calculators, except there is a small exception. There's gonna be these application exercises, and at that point, we'll be allowed to use calculators. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay. Because that's real world numbers. And like I said, I wrote the book, but the real world numbers aren't always pretty. Okay, so on that note about calculators, let me just kind of give you an idea. My sister-in-law started having babies early. And so she had 4 kids, boom, boom, boom. And so she had to drop out of high school and take care of those kids. And so she started working where she sold glasses and, you know, fitted glasses. And she was a hard worker, worked her way up, and eventually became the manager here at Scott & White at the optical boutique at Scott & White. And once a week they met, administrators, doctors, and because she was running that store, she was part of that meeting. And they would sit around and they would talk about things like a 10% increase in the budget, or the hours of the employees and how much that needed to increase or decrease, or the budget itself. And they were talking big numbers, and they were talking numbers in this meeting, and nobody was pulling out a calculator to use. And so she kind of felt like, I'm out of place, and I don't want to pull out a calculator because I don't want them to think I'm not capable of doing this job. So after the first meeting, she went home to my brother and said, hey, I need help with this. And so he started teaching her the same types of strategies I'm gonna teach you. And so now she can go into those meetings and say, okay, a 10% increase is blah, you know, no big deal with doing that math. So that's the kind of thing that I want you to be able to do. I don't know what job you're gonna end up with in the end, but whatever it is, you wanna make sure that you can, walk into that meeting and have a little number sense. By the way, how many of you are nursing majors? Great. How many of you are criminal justice majors? Nobody. Okay. So mainly nursing, and then a few. Do y'all know what you're gonna be? What's your major? Nursing. You didn't raise your hand. What about you, Greg?
Pre-law.
Pre-law. Okay, so criminal justice kind of that route, and then
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. So kind of that same medical field. Statistics. This course is great. It's geared towards those two fields. So the course that I've written, because most of my students are nursing majors or are criminal justice majors, I've kind of geared it that way. And statistics, I love statistics over like college algebra, because you see statistics every day. It is real life. Whereas college algebra, I don't know that you're ever going to graph a polynomial function again, but you are going to take percentages, and you are going to have to think in a statistical way as a nurse or as a criminal justice major. So that's it works well, so you can see how you're going to apply it. So I love this class over, say, college algebra. Okay, so that's the homework, that's the test, that's how this runs. We will have a final exam at the end that will be comprehensive. And then the last thing we need to talk about are these application exercises. There will be a few application exercises throughout the semester. And what these do is we will literally apply what we've learned. So we'll learn about percentages, and then we'll go to a website about COVID, and we'll talk about percentages, from different counties. What percent of the people have gotten COVID? What percent of the people have gotten the vaccines or whatever. So there will be different application exercises. You guys are also going to collect data for me. On one of the application exercises, you're going to ask some family members some questions, and then we're going to use that data, and we're going to find averages of the data. We're going to find the standard deviation. We're going to make displays that show, graphical displays that show our data. So we'll learn all those things, and then we'll just apply it to the data that we have. So there'll be a few application exercises along the way. Like I said earlier, this is going to be the one time that you're going to be allowed to use a calculator, because real world data is not pretty. So the numbers will be kind of ugly. All right, let's see if there's anything else in here. Attendance. Attendance is super important in this class. The math just builds on itself. So today we're going to talk about order of operations. Tomorrow we'll do fractions. The fractions will have order of operations in it. So if you miss one, then it makes the next one just harder. So it's just super important that you don't miss a day. I know that things came up. I had several emails of people who are having to quarantine because of COVID. Okay, to help you out, I have online the lecture videos, the lecture notes, examples, and then the homework, and then I'll be available to help. If you miss class, you're still responsible for the information. Okay, so just missing class doesn't mean that you don't have to learn it. You still have to learn that material. So you just have to do it on your own time. So that's kind of how college works. And I don't know how many of you are coming straight from high school, but this is different than high school. I know in high school, a lot of things are on the teacher's shoulders to make sure that you make up your work, to help you get caught up, that kind of stuff. That's not true here at college. It's all on your shoulders now. I'm here as a support and a guide, but now you're responsible for it. So if you miss class, you have to make it up. I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, oh wait, here, make sure you did this. And that means you need to start today working, because 3 weeks from now, you're like, oh, I didn't turn in those assignments 3 weeks ago. Oh, well, you're done. We missed that. So it's not like high school where you get to go back and turn stuff in. All right, so start working today. So be here, that's the attendance thing, but if you happen to have to miss the stuff's on under content so that you can get caught up. And then behavior is the other thing on there, expectations of the class. Y'all are doing a great job of, you're here and you're listening. Great, terrific. I do have a few little pet peeves. If you're on your phone texting, I would rather you walk outside to do that. It distracts me. If you're sleeping in class, it distracts me. It makes it hard for me to teach. So if you're distracting me in class, I will call you out. And if I have to call you out twice, I'll just drop you. So that's another thing from high school, you know, the teachers have to like make sure you're behaving or whatever. It's not college. We can just go, sorry, I know you paid your money, but you're done. So just stay off your phone, make sure you're paying attention. You did pay money, so grab the material while you're here. All right, so, all right, we're all good. Let's talk about this, how you can get help. So let's do that next. So hopefully you got the email about Discord, and hopefully you've already signed into that. Oops. So let me show you this Discord thing. This came out of the pandemic, and we found it, well, we were already using it for our personal, does anybody use Discord before this? None of y'all are gamers? If you're a gamer, a video gamer, you're using Discord because you talk to, this is one way that gamers communicate with one another. So that's actually how we found Discord. We were already using it because we all play video games together. And it's a great application because you can do things like you can text with one another, you can upload pictures, you can chat with one another, and you can actually like video, even on video chat. So it's all those different apps all in one. When you first log in, you will see this welcome channel. And I'm gonna ignore this for a minute because you won't be able to see that when you first log in. In order to be able to see these channels, you have to introduce yourself. So this welcome channel is first, but then you're gonna come down to the introduction. By the way, I have a video here where I kind of explain Discord a little bit, so if after class you're not sure, you can always watch that. But I'm going to come down here to the introductions, and what you're going to do in the introductions is you're going to put your name. Be sure and tell them that Patty Simpson is your teacher, because there are 4 of us on this Discord server. Your class is Math 1442, or you could put Statistics, either one, so that they know which class to put you in. And then it's a 16-week class, not an 8-week class. So tell me that information, or tell us that information, and then somebody will give you your role. It may not be instantaneous, but like there may be people down here because we're all in class that are just now logging on. But as soon as we see it and we can give you your role, then at that point we will assign you to the class, and then you'll be able to see these channels as well. Okay, let me explain a little bit more about these channels. This general chat, anybody who's taking a Simpson math class can chat in that channel. So sometimes people from the kids at the TBI may post funny memes, or maybe somebody sees a wreck on I-35 and they say, hey guys, just be aware that there's a wreck on I-35. Or you may ask a question in there like, I noticed it's snowing, are we having class today? Something like that. So this is anybody who's taking, or maybe you know somebody over at another campus where you can talk to them through that general chat. Okay, the how-to screenshot, obviously that's been a problem, so there must be directions in there on how to screenshot things. Then this general voice, it looks like Angela F right now is in general voice. If I pop into general voice, I could talk with Angela. So this general voice, I can actually have a communication with Angela there, talking, or if I come down, there's a place to do video. Well, I think I have to be in there. If I go in there, hi Angela.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you? Well, I'm doing a little bit better now. I'm not sweating bullets.
Fantastic. Just gonna show this class how I'm gonna turn on my video, and we'll see if you can see me on the
Okay.
video. Do you see me on the video? So you
I
can,
see the video.
you don't see the video? Click on that general voice
Um,
and see if you can find that.
Okay.
So anyway, we can have a conversation through this. You can see that the more we use it, the better we'll get at it. And not only can I just talk, but I can also use it as a video. All right, Angela, I'm gonna log off because I'm in class, but I'll chat with you later, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, then when I'm ready to disconnect, you see that phone with the X? That's what I'm gonna hit. Okay, so this is anybody who's taking a Simpson class can chat in there. If you go AFK, it'll move you in there. Then for our class, this is the stats news. I'll post things in here. Like if there is I have to be absent or something, or maybe there's an error on number 3 on the homework or something like that, I'll post it just in this news channel. And then the discussion channel is really the one you're gonna need. So here's that discussion channel. This is where you're gonna ask for help. So let's say on number 4 on the homework, your answer doesn't match mine. And you're like, I need to get help on this. I don't understand where I went wrong. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a picture of your work, and then right down here, there's a plus sign. You can upload your picture into Discord. And you can put this on your phone as well. I have it on my phone to work on, and maybe Angela was using it on her phone. And then I can upload that picture here. And then I can ask a question like, my answer doesn't match. Where did I go wrong? Or maybe I need to start the question. I'm like, I don't know where to start. Whatever. You can put your questions there. You can type a text. You can put a picture in there and ask a question. Then when I see it, I can answer those questions. Or if you guys see somebody else's question, it's good practice to try to help them out and see if you can find their error too. It'll only enhance your understanding of it. So it's a way for you to communicate with your classmates as well. So it's a way for you to get help from one another. And then also I'll be there, and then there are other professors that'll help, and we have some TAs as well that'll answer questions. So it's just a way to get help. Now, this semester, I may not be like instantaneous on top of things, but if you post something in there, it'll probably be within the 12 hours that I answer, probably sooner than that, but 12 hours. And then on Thursdays are my official office hours. So like from 1:30 to 4:30 or 6:30 or something, I'll for sure be answering questions during that time. And that way you work on your homework on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and then you're like, okay, Thursday, I need help on these assignments. You'll know that for sure I will be available during those times. So on Thursday. And may rearrange that office. We'll talk more about it if I change it up. But right now the plan is Thursdays because your stuff is due on Fridays. And then if you guys want to chat with one another, this Pimson, or if I'm working with you and we need to like talk instead of text, we can jump in this Pimson voice and video. This is only people in my class that can talk in here. Now I do have 2 statistics classes. This 9:30 class, and then I follow it up at 11 o'clock with another statistics class. So there'll be 2 groups of y'all using this. So it may be that you're answering questions from the other class, and they may be asking y'all, they may be answering yours. Or you may know somebody in that other class, and you're like, hey, let's get together and let's sit down and do our homework together. Well, you can be at home in your pajamas. They can be at home in their pajamas with kids running all around in the background. And y'all could be working on your homework here in the video channel. So Discord is just a great way for you to work together to get that homework done. And then it's also a way to communicate with me. Okay, so that's one way you can get help from each other and then also from me. Also, we have a math lab here on campus that is a great math lab. It's over in the Barron Student Success Center. So if you've had to take a test in the testing center, it's in that same hallway. It's room 3606 in that Student Success Center. So if you walk in that south parking entrance, walk down the hall, it's on the left. And in that math lab, they've got cool tables that you can write on with markers. They've got marker boards. They've got a couple of little quiet rooms you could go back into. So, you know, my suggestion would be, if you could, as soon as class is over, or maybe you have other classes you go to, but as soon as your classes are over, you just head on over to the math lab right then. Sit down, do your math homework. Get it done in a quiet place where you can do your homework. And then if you need help along the way, there are tutors in that room that you can ask. Look, I'm not getting the answer on number 4, and they can walk you through it. So the math lab is a great place to go for help. So just be aware that that's available also. And you can get your homework knocked out before you go home and have those crazy kids running around. Okay, so anyway, that's Discord. If you haven't logged on yet, work on getting logged on, because it'll be something that you'll use. I actually think it's part of your homework tonight. All right, the other thing is social media. Actually, before I do that, let me make sure I've covered everything. Y'all have any questions? There's a lot. It's a lot of information. Okay, well, we're on TikTok, we got some videos. We're on Instagram. We're on Snapchat. I sent out my streaks earlier. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. You name it, we're on it. Follow us. We'll follow back.